Did anybody else's mother out there do the fake doctor appointment thing where, like you were sick, you weren't feeling well, and they would threaten you with a fake doctor's appointment, but you didn't know that it was a fake doctor's appointment? My mother did this, but she went next level. So I was at school. I'll never it was such a terrifying day for me. I would have been about 12 years old, 11 or 12 years old, and I was in band, I was playing flute, and all of a sudden the room started to blur and became these stripes, and my head started hurting, and I couldn't see anything. I was blinded. I'd never had an experience like that before. And of course, I know now it was a blinding migraine, but at the time I didn't. And I don't remember, I remember that part of the day and the doctor appointment, but I don't remember how I got to the nurse's office or any of those things. But my mother ultimately, as everything transpired, had to pick me up, which, was terribly disruptful to her day of not being employed. She would have to actually do a motherly duty, as if, right? So she picked me up, she's got me in the car. And is she concerned? Is she asking me how I feel? No, of course not. She's like, you better really be sick. What is this thing you're talking about? And berating me in the car. And I just remember my head hurting really, really badly, and seeing and not seeing and that sort of thing, and having to navigate my way into the doctor's office by watching her walk in front of me, because I was still seeing stripes and all these different things. She didn't stop to help me. She didn't stop to care for me until we got to the door of the doctor's office. And then of course she let me go in first and sat me down. And because I couldn't see what she was really doing, I didn't see or notice that she didn't go up to the receptionist to say that we were there. She just sat down with me in the office of the the doctor's office. And I'm thinking now, I'm looking back at this memory, she never talked to the receptionist, and the receptionist never asked why we were there or anything like that. She just sat there with me, waited it out. And, eventually, as she was I know you're not really sick, and the doctor's going to tell me, and then it's really going to be bad for you. You're going to wish you were sick, and that whole barrage of stuff. So here I am fighting back tears because, not going to get her to the next level, and in absolute agony. And eventually I cave, and I'm like, no, I'm fine. I wasn't fine. She took me home, well, back to the house. It wasn't a home, it was a house of horrors. And I went to bed, and she told me all the trouble I was going to be in. And I vaguely remember also being grounded, which grounded meant nothing. It was the tirades and the rages that meant everything. So anybody else, mother, doing that thing? She used to do that when I had stomach aches too. She used to do that when I had shortness of breath, which I now know is anxiety. To the point where my stepfather, when she went out of town, he was so concerned about my not being able to catch my breath that he took me to the doctors. He took me for x-rays and all of these different things to make sure that I was okay. And we weren't allowed to tell her. Welcome to the world of being a child whose mother is a narcissist. And by the way, mine's a sociopath and a narcissist. That's what it looks like. And this is what people don't understand. It isn't even a matter of just neglect, which is bad enough, which is child abuse. It's a matter of torture. Day in and day out, torture.